Hey guys, in this episode, we're gonna dive into how smart bidding works. And this is key for understanding one of the case studies that we have on artificial intelligence and machine learning. So let's try to understand how it works on the back end. If somebody is searching for condos in Jackson Hole, what Google is gonna consider is just everything that describes this search query. So perhaps this user is in Miami, and then perhaps he's using a laptop. His name is Phil, and let's assume that he is 18 years old, and he belongs to the below 50% of the household income in the United States. So everything that we have here describes the search query, and these are just a set of variables. And what Google does is that based on the data that you have on your campaign, it's gonna assign a probability of converting for each of these. So if you have a really good track record of people making a very high conversion rate located in Miami, it's gonna assign a higher set of probability for this. Then the same is the case for laptop devices. It's gonna assign a probability for each of these. If Phil is actively involved in Google and he's searching for condos in Jackson Hole, not even this search query, but perhaps it's including buy or just very interested in buying condos in Jackson Hole, then there's gonna be another high value here. And now he's 18 years old and he belongs to the below 50% of the household income. So this tool, based on the data that you have in your campaign, he's not likely to buy a house in Jackson Hole because they are actually very expensive in that area. So what it's gonna do is just probably gonna set a very low value for each of these. Once it grabs all the data, Google is gonna calculate a bidding amount. And perhaps it's gonna say, okay, based on all of this data for Phil, it's worth only $1 to get into this keyword auction. And it calculates, it grabs all of this, and it does it in less than 1 second. And what it's gonna do is that you're gonna get into the keyword auction with that amount. And here you have other advertisers bidding. So now you have somebody bidding 7, then you have another guy bidding 6. You may have 5 here. Now, if you see everybody's bidding higher, this is only $1, it's not high enough. So in this example, your ad is not even gonna show on Google. And that's fine, because based on the data that you have here, Phil is not really likely to buy a house in Jackson Hole, and you don't want to spend money on Phil in this case. But what if you change the values here and then you say, well, he's not 18 years old, but perhaps he's 65, and then he's not even below the 50%, but he's now on the top 10. Now everything changes here. The probabilities increases to something that is higher. Now he has a much greater value. This is the ideal customer because he's probably gonna buy a house now based on the data that you have in your campaign. So now you have $12. Now in this case, you are the highest bidder. So definitely you're gonna show in this case. And what is interesting is that you're not gonna pay $12, you're just gonna pay high enough just to beat the second bidder. So Google now is gonna assign a position based on all of this data, and you have the first, second position, the third, and then if the second highest bidder is $7, you're just gonna pay high enough to bid this guy. So that's probably gonna go like this, and then this guy is just gonna bid high enough to bid that other advertiser. So it's gonna go something like this, and the same is the case for everything else. So basically, we just went through what happens on the back end with smart bidding. And on the next episode, we're gonna look into how to use this data to improve your search campaigns. So stay tuned for more.